So everybody want to make sure you have your phones turned off and put away, so that we have no more distractions, negative energy distractions. So one thing I'd like to do, just a little exercise throughout the rest of our retreat. Let me get some feedback. Okay. Exercise for the rest of our retreat. We're going to have a little bit of accountability for each other. That when we catch someone else maybe having a self-limiting or negative talk or saying something in a negative way versus the positive way, that we'll hold each other accountable. And we're gonna have like a little trash pile right up there. So if you have a negative thought, you gotta write it down and you gotta throw it in the trash, okay? And hold each other accountable. I mean, we're really, because the only way that we can become more conscious is having accountability partners that kind of tag us out. And hey, that's kind of negative thinking today. You know, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Whoa, you know, your energy's kind of, you know, are you feeling okay? Sometimes we walk through life and we're kind of, got one over there already. Good. We all ran behind her. I was going to say, just throwing. And if it wasn't so rainy and ucky outside, we'd have a bonfire with that tonight. But part of that is, you know, to really say, hey, that's not serving me well. I'm throwing it away. And to really become conscious of that, you know, as we go. And counting each other with accountability partners, you know. You know, Nelson knows that sometimes I don't wake up in the best mood, and he'll be like,
not so.
And vice versa, you know. Sometimes I'll say, can we just smile this morning? Can we be happy? But it really does. Turn that frown upside down, and it does. It makes a huge difference when you just smile, you know, or when you laugh, or just, you know, change it, you know. And when you have those, when we talked about those relationships, when you have positive relationships in your life, those are the people that help you. You know, we have mastermind groups. It's why we work with each other. That's why we have partners and spouses and friends that because I know I can feel your guys' energy. You know, if I'm walking through the office, I can tell when somebody's not doing so well, you're angry or whatever. You feel that energy. So, you know, help us all. So I did have a request from Gosha as well to, you know, maybe have some books that, you know, my recommended readings. I have a few with me today, and I can roll a few off the top of my head. But every single one of you, when you got your sales associate manual, in the very back of it has a reading list. I think I probably have 50 books on there. So if you don't have it, or you...
Were we supposed to read that?
Yeah, you actually signed off that you read it, right? Believe me, I know. And I know that many of you all have no idea where your sales associate manual is. So remember that physical space, the clutter, if you don't know where your sales associate manual is, you may want to turn back to that environment and write down right now, I don't know where my sales associate manual is. That would be not working. So anyway, if you all would like that list, however, you know, Cindy can email it out to everybody when we get back to the office, and we have lots of stuff on there. But, you know, a lot of it is 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. I have this little book right here that I just picked up, The Law of Attraction Made Easy. All kinds of good, cool little day-to-day things that you can do in here to keep yourself positive and get rid of limiting beliefs, and goes into it a lot. You know, my Bible, Jack Canfield's Success Principles. I have used this book for the past 15 years. Sometimes it sits on my shelf and I don't pull it out. Sometimes I read it 3 times a week. it depends on what, there's so many principles in here, it depends on what I need help with. So, I mean, we're gonna be working on affirmations this afternoon. I pulled a book out. Well, let's go back to affirmations. I have my own affirmations, I'm used to doing that, but let's make sure you guys are doing it correctly and we go back to the principles. So, hey, I carry this around all the time. I have like 5 copies and it's on my Kindle. I talked about Wayne Dyer earlier. I listen to this CD in my car all the time. The Power of Intention. It's all about what you intend, what you put out there, what you're going to get back. And he talks a lot about the quiet space that we need to connect with Source to make sure that happens. Because when we got all this clutter and stuff in our mind, we are so unconscious of what's going on and we're putting energy out there and we have no idea. So when we really get centered and do some meditation, quiet time, prayer, whatever it is for you, it clears a lot of that clutter away. So those are 3, Gosha, that right now. The Secret is a very good book and a great DVD and tape. I listen to that a lot too. So it's just putting those positive things, making sure we're staying conscious, and let's help each other out the next 2 days. That pile, and I know that there's going to be more than 1 piece of paper in there. I'll hold myself accountable as well. All right. So what we're going to do now is do some exercises. Now we've talked about the law of attraction. We've done, hopefully, our environment part of the things that we can control. So we're starting to become focused and conscious on that. The next part of it is really to change our mindset and make sure we're doing the right things to keep us positive and to move forward. So now we know where we are and how do we get to where we want to be using the law of attraction. So a couple more cartoons just to laugh here a little bit. So, honey, either you stop reading those law of attraction books or you have to stop saying crap in every sentence. There's also the dog's crapping, there's no crap. Be careful what we're saying. What are we attracting? Why are we doing this? Okay, this is not a great mission statement, but we'll revise it if things get better. So, clarity, part of the law of attraction is having a clear intention, the power of intention, having clarity. Why are we doing this? You know, why are we doing this? If we're not clear about what we're doing, we're not going to get anywhere. That's not a great mission statement. Clear intention. So here's another little cartoon. I'm broke, I need more work. Yay, so she got more work. Did she get more money? No. And so many times, again, we put the wrong message out there. So do you want abundance or do you want more work? She just asked for more work. She didn't ask for abundance. So, got what she wanted there, didn't she? Be careful what we ask for. So this is a quote from Dale Carnegie. People rarely succeed unless they have fun in what they're doing. So a huge part of the law of attraction and the feelings that we feel, and when you get into that, your feelings portion of your environment, what are we feeling? We should be feeling good when we're doing things. We should be feeling joy when we're doing things. And we all know that there are parts of the job, like you all said, you don't really like to make phone calls, but once you start to make the phone calls, it feels okay, right? When you really interact with people and connect with people, and they like it. Oh, you okay, Cindy? We should be feeling good, and our feelings are our antenna as if we're doing things correctly or if we're following our path and going to where we want to be. So if we're feeling bad, if we're feeling anxious, if we're feeling worried, if our gut is killing us, if our health isn't good, all of those things are indicators that we're not on the right track and we're not going down the right path. So again, it's becoming conscious of not just your thoughts, but what are your thoughts making you feel? Because when you feel bad, you're not, it's real easy to know if you're on the right track or not, if you're feeling bad. Any questions or experiences on that? You all? Okay. I love this quote too. Katharine Hepburn. If you always do what interests you, at least one person's happy, right? So many times we get caught up doing things because somebody else wants us to do it, or we think somebody else wants us to do it. You know, we're parents, sometimes we feel guilty if we're going to work because we should be at home with our kids. Yeah, when you're home with your kids, you feel guilty because you're not at work. So we're trying to please our kids, we're trying to please our boss, but where are we in there? You know, the only person that can please you is you. I can just tell you, you will never make everyone happy. Your clients will not all be happy, no matter what you do. So if we end up doing things because we think we're going to make someone else happy, that is not going to work. Because who's responsible for that person's happiness? They are. 100% responsibility. But we all do this. We all get caught up. And if I'll just go over and I'll mow my client's lawn every week because they're not in town, and that's going to make them happy. And they're the first one that'll come back to you and try to cut your commission. You know, you're not going to make them happy. We try to, I try to make my mom happy. That's not going to happen. she's got just a lot of negative energy, and I've learned a long time ago that I can be the best daughter I can be. Being myself, and I'm just, she's going to be who she is. So, no matter what. So the big part of this, and this is another thing we can hold each other accountable on, if we catch ourselves doing something because someone else wants us to, or because we're trying to make someone else happy, stop it. Stop it. It's your life. You get to do what you want to do. And you need to choose your path, and you need to do what makes you happy, because nobody else is responsible for it, and you can't make anybody else happy. Sure, do we run around beating people up? No. Do we want to steal? No, but that's not going to make us feel happy either. I mean, ultimately, if we're doing those types of behaviors, we're not happy, and we need to look at some of these environments, right? And again, we were just talking about follow your inner guidance system. What is your gut telling you? How many times do we go through the realtor safety class and they say, hey, if this doesn't feel right to you, get out of that situation. That's your inner source. That's your guidance telling you, giving you a message. And it's the same with your life every single day. Have a positive expectation. So we're going to get clear on our intention. Some of the exercises that we're going to do. And then we need to have a positive expectation. This is the way the law of attraction works. So if you put it out there that you want abundance in your life, you want to reach a certain sales goal, you want to be a millionaire, you want this new car, you put that affirmation out there, you're asking for these things, and then you turn right around and sabotage yourself because you say, yeah, but I don't know crap. I buy a lottery ticket and I turn around and say, yeah, but I never win anything. Well, you asked, but you just slapped it right back down with a doubt, and you just turned your affirmation, your request, to a negative. So you just canceled your order. If we call up and order pizza from Domino's, do we call back like 2 minutes later and say, are you sure you got that right? Are you gonna get it here? Are you gonna deliver it? Are you sure? You hang up, yeah, we got your pizza on the way. And then a couple minutes later, do you know my address? I don't know. Last time you guys were really late and didn't make it. Well, after a while, they think you're a nut at Domino's and they're never gonna take your pizza order again. Well, we do that all the time when we're putting our energy out there and saying that we want something, and we affirm things, and we say our affirmations, and we do all the positive things we're supposed to do, and then we turn around and we sabotage it with a negative feeling, a doubt that it's not going to happen. So have a positive expectation. Think about your day the way you want it to go. When you start your day, this is how I want my day to happen today, and have a positive expectation that that's going to happen. Don't sabotage yourself and say, oh, well, okay, I'd like for it to go that way, but it never does. Why don't you just Law of attraction. You just said it never does, so it never will. It's the law of attraction. So be really careful that we're not sabotaging ourselves. If we catch each other doing that, goes in the corner, okay? So here's another quote. It doesn't take any more energy to dream a big dream as it does to dream a little dream. Right? You're going to dream for 5 minutes. Make it big. Make it fun. Make it your joy. Make it what you really want. It's, it's 5 minutes of your life. Don't limit yourself. We all do that. So here's a little exercise that we're going to do called have to, choose to. And that's actually, in the next part of your book, you have 5% more responsibility. We're going to go back to that, but have to, choose to. So what are things that, this is just, again, trying to help you get, and we're talking about that mindset part now, because this is the hardest part for us to get over. So what are things that we feel like we have to do? And then we need to just realize that we don't have to do anything. We don't have to do anything. We choose and we make choices every single day for what we do. And I get a lot of feedback on that. Cindy, one time we were sitting in a class and we were doing this exercise, she said, well, I have to eat. I said, no, you don't. You don't have to. You don't have to. If you choose not to eat, you'll die. But you don't have to. Nobody can make you do anything. Some people say, well, I have to take care of my kids. You can choose to. Most of us choose to because we love our children, but there's a lot of people who don't take care of their kids. It's a choice. So we need to take the power back with us. And I want you guys to kind of write down some things that you feel like you have to do. And
Can we do that with taxes?
Not everybody pays their taxes. Not everybody pays their taxes. We have some real estate transactions where we find out that people don't always pay their taxes.
Yeah.
It's a choice. Obviously there are consequences to the things that we choose to do, right? And there are voices in our heads telling us, well, you have to do that. You have to be a good person. You have to take care of your children. You have to eat. You have to exercise. And it just goes on and on and on. You have to, save enough money. You have to buy a car that's practical, not an impractical car. There's all kinds of those little have-to things that we've been programmed with. But we really need to break out of that. We don't have to do anything. It's our choice. It's our lives. Again, there's consequences to our choices and what we choose to do. There's nothing that you have to do, right? So we're going to do a little exercise here, and I really want you to think about, do I have to pay my tax? Think about the things that you feel like you have to do, okay? And I want you to write that down on the top part. So you have five things on there. I have to, or if I don't, then. So like Cindy said, I have to eat. If I don't, I'll die, right? And so I have to pay my taxes. If I don't, I'll go to jail. I have to, I have to get dressed.
They don't make short jumpsuits.
I have to get out of bed every day. Well, you don't have to. So really think about the things that you feel like you really have to do. And I want you to write 5 things down. And then we're going to switch it around. And you're going to say, I choose to because I. So you really are feeling the consequences. Again, I have to eat because if I don't, I'll die. I actually choose to eat because I want to live. And I know that's a very simplistic thing, but I want you all to kind of go through that. And then we're going to just break up in partners and kind of share that back and forth of the things that you feel like you have to do. And just see how different it feels when you say, no, I actually get to choose to do that. I have to go to work every day. Not everybody does. You don't have to. You choose to because you want to earn money. You want to be fulfilled. So go ahead and do both parts. Because we're going to switch it. Actually, just do the first part. Just do the have to. And then we're going to have your partner come back and say, you choose to because. And then we'll write it down that way. Because I think when you interact with it a little bit, it'll feel different. So take just a couple minutes, maybe 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, we'll see how you guys are doing, and what would you have to do? You feel like you have to.
Yeah, for sure.
Fill out the left side and then your partner fills out the right, or you say fill out the top and your partner.
Fill out the top, the whole top. You have to do something because what? And then we're gonna kind of let that person, we're gonna have that person read those things back to you and say, I choose to, and then we'll fill in the bottom. So I think when you talk it out, it feels different than just writing it. Okay, everybody done? Everybody got 5 have-tos? I have to. When you really feel like, you have to. Okay, so now let's pick a partner. Everybody get a partner? Everybody have a partner? Anybody not have a partner?
Mike's good.
Okay, all right, so decide who's gonna go first. Well, I'll tell you guys what, whoever has the shiniest shoes is gonna go first. So does everybody know who's going first? Raise your hand if you're going first. Raise your hand if you're going first. So now we know who didn't shine their shoes and who did. I never want to shine my shoes. Okay, so what I want you to do, let's be clear on the circumstance, on the directions. So what I want you to do is take a minute. I want you to tell your partner, whoever's going first, you're going to tell your partner you have to do these 5 things, okay? And then I'm going to have your partner go back and say you choose to, and you'll say that thing because why, okay? So that's the first person will go through that whole exercise. I'll give you all a minute, I'll give you 2 minutes to do that, and then we'll switch partners. Okay, so 2 minutes. I have to. Okay. All right, let's bring everybody back. So, would you guys share a little bit about how that felt? Tell me how that felt. Positive affirmations, Lisa?
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, like, when you're sitting and you're listening to the things, like, when somebody says, I have to, blah, 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 if not, blah, 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 and you're listening to all of those, it's very negative. I mean, it's like yucky negative. When you sit and read your own,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel very good.
Right.
Yeah.
So doesn't it, so do you feel the energy shift
Oh, completely.
when you say you choose to?
Yes. Yeah.
It's very empowering, just to switch. So when we're talking about our mindset, and one of those things to change the mindset, anytime we catch somebody saying, I have to, it's going in the corner, right? You guys will catch each other doing that. I have to get over to my room. No, I'm choosing to because. So try it. I mean, it's really a small shift. It's just one of those little things. It makes a huge energy shift in your day and your outlook. I have to versus I choose to. So try to keep that in mind. And again, you want to hold each other accountable. If you say you have to, it goes in the corner.
I was just gonna say that, because one of the things that is that, and I changed it to I choose to because of this, and then I kind of made a face, and she just looked at me, she goes, ha 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 ha. So accountability is important for the people that you trust and believe in you.
Right.
I think you want to surround yourself with those kind
Right.
of, so.
Right. So, but yeah, you'll feel the energy shift. Anybody else get an aha moment from that or feel different?
Something I don't, never really consciously, I guess, thought about, but I was talking to Sam, is like, I have to go with my wife to visit her family. Because if I don't, I feel like she won't think I love her or support her. So we changed that to I choose to because I want my wife to be happy.
Right.
It makes me happy.
Yeah. Huge energy shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a glass of water in this hand.
Oh, you're doing it. Did you want paper in the corner? So that little exercise was about our mindset again, right? So this this exercise, we're gonna take a little time one, and I know many of you who have sat through our retreats before have done this and have started it. But it's always important to continually look at this list, because this is your life. And you will find, when I say create a 101 goal list, it can be kind of hard. There's 101 things. But if we're gonna really take the time, because if I just give you 5 minutes, you guys will write down all your little stuff. You know, oh, I want to increase my business this year. I want a new car. I want to. When we start to take more time and maybe we've filled out 25 of those slots, now we want to dream big. So when we talk about having a clear intention on what we want for our lives, this is it. And if you never write it down, you are not giving a clear intention for what you want for your life. It's all up here. Oh, I'd like to travel to France. I'd like to travel the world. I'd like to fly to the moon. Dream big. Dream big on this. Don't limit yourself. Don't make it little. That's why we do 101 goals. And I'm going to give you guys some time to really write this down. Again, you may not get 101 today. This is a work in progress. This is your workbook to take with you as you go throughout the year. But I want you to this is our quiet time. When we talk about that meditative time, that quiet time where we are going to be quiet and let inspiration come into us, that's going to give you a clear intention for what you want moving forward. And then we're going to set up some goals and affirmations for some of those things on your list too. So I'm going to give you all truly some time here on this. And I really want you to don't be distracted, don't get your phone out. Let your mind be free to do whatever you want. The kids joke because, you know, they know it. I at one point said, I'm going to open the first RE/MAX office on Mars, you know. And then they laughed. But then 2 months later, they were talking about maybe taking people to Mars and people could actually purchase property on Mars. I said, you guys thought that was really, you know, I'm serious. I will be the first person selling real estate. We'll have you guys up there selling real estate on Mars. It's an opportunity, right? I have my eyes open. So think big. Dream big, it's your life, and put it clear. And so this will help you get clear on that intention. So I'm going to give you guys a good, it's 10 of 3 now. I'm going to give you a half hour on this one. So really take the time, and if you need to get up and go to the bathroom and take a drink,
Any guidelines, like, what, by when, or how much?
no, because we'll do that later. That's more the goal setting. Because if you start to put that in there, you're gonna, and that's a great question, though. So if you start to now put how much by when, you're